Okay, so the first two drives you just seen there was the Epic and the G400. First one being the Epic, fired outright. G400Max, I found a fairway. And that's a dilemma at the minute for me personally. I got fitted, bought the Epic back in October. It's hardly had the wrapper off, to be honest. I've been playing little on-course golf personally and a lot of product testing. In that time, I've tested the G400Max and it's been in my bag for the last 6 weeks, and I'm in a real dilemma. I don't think I've ever found as many fairways as I have done with drivers since I've been trying the G400Max, and we're going to see how it pans out today in a straightforward head-to-head at Heswall. Shot tracer on. This one's Epic. That's a golf shot, middle of the fairway, a lot better than the first drive I hit with it, and maybe it sticks around for a little longer. Let's go to G400Max. Shot tracer back on. Sun's coming out. That one's at the bunkers. More than happy with the strike, happy with that. I've been tending to leave the G400Max out a little bit out to the right, and I'm partly that appeals to me as well because I've got a bad tendency of a right to left snap hook, and to be honest with you, I'm really struggling to do that with the G400Max. So let's go and have a look up there and see how they've both fared in terms of distance. Epic hit the fairway and I've seen it bound and roll, so it should be plenty far enough. But let's just see how far the G400 has missed by as well, because it's a tough dilemma. I've got a feeling, like I said, fairway finding G400Max is a real winner. So far what I've tested, big sweet spot, lots of forgiveness for someone who hits off centre, and I do that with driver quite a bit, and that's a temptation for me. I've got a feeling that driver just hit with Epic was bang on, out the middle, down the middle of the fairway, bounding. I don't think the G400Max will keep up with it, but, and we'll carry on with this test, how many fairways and how many times will I do that with the Epic? That's the question for me. Who knows? Okay, really interesting one. So this is where that's where the G400 came to rest. That's the bunker there, just over that little mound. My bag's at the side of it, and over there is the Epic, which, like I said, bang on middle of the fairway. I've got a very short wedge in hand to the green, but let's see if I can do this a bit better. The interesting thing for me there was I was surprised that that's where it is in sort of a straight line to the hole. They're almost in line with each other. And that's the bit that's interesting, because I didn't expect to see that at all, because I know that the Epic drive pitched and rolled quite a bit. I've seen that, whereas that one has just pitched. I've just had to pull that one out of its plug hole. So surprised at the carry that was on the G400Max. That's deceived me a little bit. Interesting. Still, this drive's pretty good. Look at that. Question is, can I make birdie? Let's have a look. Okay, back down for a little while and you can see what I'm looking at. So, G400Max. That's pretty impressive. This isn't a driving hole, the pond is in play. I moved back off those tees a little bit, but Epic has just pulled up short of the pond. And that's a nice little line in, but not one that you'd aim at. It's not the one I was aiming at. The line I did aim at was where the G400 came to rest. And distance wise, let's have a look again. It's the G400 has outdone it in distance because it landed on the fairway, but there's not a lot to split them, to be honest. And like I said, you'd be happy into that pin from either of them. But again, it's a G400, like on a first tee shot, which finds another fairway. Let's see if I can make birdie. No yardage, it's all about eyes and feel. You don't look at a pond then. Yeah, it's come up a little bit short, but that's another putt for birdie. Pin Glide 2 stealth wedges, they're quite tasty as well. Right, pin out this time. No excuses this time round. Birdie G400Max. Left to right. Having it. There you have it. Who's making the decision? You make the decision right now. What should I be doing? You've seen the video. You see, don't forget, this is a small snapshot. I've only hit 5 tee shots that on the video that you've seen, and in that test I hit 4 fairways with the G400Max, and I hit 1 with the Epic. So if it was that simple, we'd say pretty emphatically, yes, it's time to change. The interesting thing for me as well was with the G400Max, I pretty much found the middle of the fairway as well. There was nothing sort of sprayed out, grabbing the sides. I pretty much found the centre, and I don't know, arguably, I mean, could be down to purely confidence and the way in which I'm swinging the G400Max differently to the Epic, maybe, because like I said, mentally, when I stand over the ball with the G400Max, I kind of feel like I am going to hit that fairway. So that's a good enough reason anyway to change, because as we all know, the mental side of golf is it's a pretty big deal, and any positivity you can get in that mind, then it can only be good. But let's look at it logically, and I tried to I went back to my custom fit video, and it was my custom fit video was narrowed down to the G400 or the Epic back in November. This is the G400, not the G400Max. It wasn't out then, and I was a big fan of the G400. And if I'm honest, when I went into the test, or into the custom fit rather, I had in my head that I would end up buying a G400. As it panned out, hit both clubs very well on the day. The dispersion on the, and I've had a look back again at the numbers on the Epic, were good, as were the G400, although I hit a couple of errant tee shots with the G400. And don't forget, again, once again, a small snapshot in terms of the shots hit. But then it boiled down to really data, and it was about the low spin that was coming off of the Epic was proven to be very successful in terms of ultimate overall yardage. And then, like I said, on the small snapshot of shots that I hit on the day, then dispersion was good on the Epic. But don't forget that was against the G400, and like I said, I was a big fan, but I keep saying, and I've said it, a lot of people, I've literally, this is not, a friend of mine came into 4Golf a couple of weeks ago with the intention of buying the M2 model that has just been discontinued, so superseded by the M4. And he hit some shots. I had the G400Max. It wasn't available to buy at that point, but I let him have a go of that. And straight away, purely in data, and his response was a proper kind of wow factor moment. It changed quite considerably in his game. So it's not a case of I've seen. I'm already a fan of this club, I suppose. But like I said, having played it out there on a number of occasions, and the only thing that I've got in my head is that I've not given the Epic a fair enough chance out there on the fairways due to its limited amount of play that I've had since November out there on the golf course. So I think for me, that's the only deliberation I've got, because it's not the only deliberation. The other deliberation is financial. I said to you on the last video when I mentioned that I would be doing this test, and I had this dilemma that I don't really agree with changing frequently, because it's obvious, it's often we get lured into this idea that a golf club will solve all your problems. Obviously that isn't the case, so I'm not keen on changing. I like to kind of work my way through. My last driver, the TaylorMade M2, was 2016 model, late 2015 was it, but I certainly had it a couple of years in the bag before I moved on to the Epic. So for me now to change so quickly, it does go against what I actually say. So I don't like doing that, and I also don't like it because of the financial side, because to part with another 350 quid, but there'll be no doubt a part X involved, but I don't know, that's the other deliberation for me. But I think right now, I suppose it's this simple. If the money wasn't an aspect, and I had the two clubs on the table and I could walk away with one of them with no financial implication whatsoever, I think I'd have to choose the G400Max, because just going back to the review again, the on course, what's been interesting, so since the G400Max and the G400, the difference between the two, oddly enough, and I've said this in the review as well, although it's the most forgiving driver on the market, CG as far back as it'll go, loads of weight back there, it's low spinning, or it is in my hands anyway. I'm finding I'm getting low spin numbers. So it was interesting out on the course where I thought the Epic would literally outdo it in terms of overall yardage, and maybe on a firm fairway, that low spin, we might have seen a further difference, I don't know. But certainly as I played it on the video that we've seen, and the games that I've played sort of since, I don't seem to be losing yardage with the G400Max either, which, like I said, I probably might have expected. So it's hard to be throwing the sound as well. Let's throw that one in, because the forged face that they've put on the G400Max, again, it's again for me got a lovely sound to the driver as well. I'm only going in one direction here, aren't I? But yeah, that's the dilemma. I think what I'm going to do, so here's my end result. Unfortunately, I've still got the two drives. Now this will be an interesting one, because I'm filming this on Friday morning. I'm going out to play this afternoon, probably 9-10 holes with both drivers in the bag. I then go to Ping on Monday, so it'll be interesting to see how I get fitted at Ping and what driver they'd recommend for me. That'd be a real interesting one as well. And maybe, because this video's going out Monday night, so I've been at Ping all day today. If you're watching this as it's gone out, then this is Monday evening, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what I've found out during the day. So the likelihood is I'll sit tight for another matter of weeks, I suppose. I'm going to go out again this afternoon, try it. I'll probably try it again head to head until basically I've got to return this G400Max. I'll keep hold of it as long as I possibly can, because it's at this stage it's a loan club. Yeah, and then at the end of it, I suppose I'm going to have to make a decision. But yeah, a really good test, and I think a really good test. I think one thing that I would love to see more of is that data is fantastic, custom fitting is fantastic, and it's so important to do it. But it's so nice to get a club on a golf course, and it's obviously very difficult for suppliers of this equipment to allow you to do that. I seen a great thing the other week whereby Titleist had put a full set of irons, a kind of demo bag, I can't remember what they called it exactly, which allowed somebody potentially interested in the clubs to take the set of irons out for 18, 9 holes, whatever it was, and to try them out on the course, which I think's a fantastic idea. Love to see more of that, to give players access to clubs on the course before they make the purchase as well. That would be a really good positive move from the golf industry. Anyway, that's the video done. Hope you enjoyed it. I suppose I was going to say non-conclusive. It is in a lot of ways, but I haven't really made a final decision, I suppose. But we all kind of know where this is going. I think it's going to be an expensive one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy your golf. Keep an eye out for this week. I don't know whether I'll get the ping video out this week, but no doubt there'll be a couple of others at some point during the nights during the week. So I'll see how I get on. Anyway, see you soon.